What's up, meta nerds? This video is all about the Sentinel-class shuttle that was used by the Galactic Empire. It was manufactured through the combined efforts of Sinar Fleet Systems, the company responsible for Darth Maul's Scimitar and the TIE series, as well as Cygnus Spaceworks, who also helped on the Lambda-class shuttle. This landing craft sent the Empire back 240,000 credits, the exact same cost as a Lambda, and 4 times the cost of a TIE fighter. And with a length of 38 meters, or 125 feet, it was more than 5 times the length of a TIE fighter, and at a height of 32 meters, or 105 feet, it was around 13 banthas tall. And at 38 meters, or 125 feet across in flight mode, it was just a Wookiee shorter than a sandcrawler, while on landing mode, it was 23 meters, or 75 feet across, a bit longer than 2 armored assault tanks. The Sentinel-class had a top atmospheric speed of 1,000 kilometers per hour, or 621 miles per hour, putting it in between the speed of a TIE bomber and a TIE fighter. And with its Class 1 hyperdrive, it was faster in hyperspace than an Imperial Star Destroyer, in the exact same class that was seen in the X-Wing, while also having a backup Class 10. It was equipped with 4 deflector shield projectors, and the hull was also better protected than its Lambda predecessor, increasing the armor plating by 25%. In order to make it so fast despite being so much heavier, the engineers developed a more powerful Cygnus HD7 engine array that made it faster than both the Lambda and an unmodified Theta, despite being heavier than either of these ships. It was able to operate with a relatively small crew of just a pilot, sensor operator, and 3 gunners, who manned the 8 retractable fire-linked laser cannons, the retractable ion cannon turret, and the concussion missile launchers, while there was also a pair of retractable repeating blasters that could be easily operated by the pilot if he ever ended up being the only one left alive on the ship. Its sensor operator monitored the infrared imaging, motion detectors, and lifeform indicators. And even though it was streamlined to be easily operated by a single Imperial if need be, they also worked in a rudimentary autopilot feature that could bring the ship to the nearest Imperial installation if the crew was ever incapacitated by rebels or pirates. This is because the Sentinel-class shuttle carried so many important assets that if one went down, it would cost the Empire a ton of credits and manpower. It usually carried 75 Stormtroopers, 12 E-Web heavy repeating blasters, and 6 74Z speeder bikes, but it could also be dedicated to just carry 36 speeder bikes, or 12 combat assault vehicles, or even a group of TIE Maulers, or SPMA-Ts. But in addition to this, they developed a large, specialized cargo variant called the Imperial Loader Shuttle, which lost the main body of this ship in favor of these large clamps that could carry containers big enough to fit AT-STs. The history of the Sentinel-class landing craft starts when the Republic became the Empire, and Palpatine wanted to switch from the Acclamator-class assault ships and the LAAT gunship, which were the preferred way of delivering troops and vehicles to a battlefield during the Clone Wars. The Empire decided that they wanted a new look and a more nimble fleet of transports. Instead of dropping down the Acclamator-class, which was nearly half the length of an Imperial Star Destroyer, every time they had to put down a small local rebellion. Not all LAATs could fly in space, and so it was also more streamlined, where it was larger than the Republic gunship, and had an armament that was enough to deal with local threats, while also being able to escort the larger Y-85 Titan dropships and the AT-AT barges, so that they could carry out large mechanized assaults. You could see how this could be particularly deadly if it was carrying that large cargo variant, so that the armament of the Sentinel-class could clear out a landing point while the Sentinels released their AT-STs. The Sentinel-class landing craft was used to deploy the Sandtroopers and their dewback mounts, while searching for the escape pods containing C-3PO and R2-D2. After the Battle of Yavin, Darth Vader's reinforcements during the evacuation of Yavin, the Imperial's counterattack, were also delivered through Sentinels. They would be used in a variety of different missions, and then most notably again in 3 ABY, when they were used to deliver snowtroopers during the Battle of Hoth, and while sending an occupation force to the planet Bespin. 2 years after the Battle of Endor, Sinar and Cygnus continued production of the Sentinel, selling it to different militaries and private companies, to the point where it became a common sight in the galaxy. Many were even purchased by the New Republic and the Galactic Federation of Free Alliances, and then it saw service in the Empire again, as members in the Imperial Remnant put in more orders for this ship. And at least one of them was in the service of the Fel Empire, making it one of the longest used Imperial shuttles. But by this time the New Republic had fully switched over to their replacement, which was the Bantha-class assault shuttle. But that's it for the Sentinel-class landing craft, but you definitely want to hear these cool facts and behind the scenes stuff. The length of the Sentinel is one of the most disputed of all Star Wars ships, with guides like the New Essential Guide to Vehicles and Vessels saying that it was 20 meters long, the same length as the Lambda, while other visual references put it from 29 meters to 45 meters. And then there's things like the X-Wing Alliance video game, which says 38 meters, and the Empire at War game, which seems to have it at 31.6 meters. But whatever length is correct, what's really interesting is one of the few things to be put into a movie that came from a video game. Special editions of A New Hope included a Sentinel that first appeared in the game Shadows of the Empire. So that's it for the Sentinel-class landing craft. But more important than all that, remember, if you're fighting rebels, always go for the next day shipping on those AT-STs, and the Force will be with you. Always.